We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. There's Jose Abreu, Alexei Ramirez, Avisail Garcia and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Jason Kipnis and the Cleveland Indians. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you the finale of this three-game set, and it will be the rubber match. As you know, they won the opener 8-6. We had a lead in that ball game after 5. Couldn't hold it. Then last night, Hector Noesi was just outstanding as he outdueled Corey Kluber. We won that ball game 3-2. But we got a guy in that lineup. He's been fun to watch.
Jose Abreu just keeps getting better. Now, he's not hitting the ball out of the park as much. However, he is driving in runs, and he's driving in some big ones. That's one of the few home runs he's hit the second half. That being said, his job is to drive home runs. And that's exactly what he's doing by going out of the strike zone and doing just about everything right. When you take a look at where he's heading as a rookie in the White Sox franchise history, Smead Jolly at 114 is leading the way. Zeke Manura, Ron Kittle, then Ping Bodie, and then Jose Abreu. He's got a chance to catch them all, surpass them all, and be number one before it's all over because he's got a month to go.
Well, Smead had a lot of guys in front of him a little better.
There's no doubt.
You know. But tonight's starters, Johnny Danks and Carrasco.
Johnny Danks has really been struggling, and Carlos Carrasco has been throwing the ball exceptionally well. You see, the last 3 starts for Carrasco, he's 2-0, his ERA .50. Now, this is a guy that they took out of starting rotation early in the year, put him in the bullpen. Since coming back in the rotation, he's been lights out. Since the All-Star break, Johnny Danks is really struggling. His ERA up close to 8. He can have a redeemer tonight against the Indians. He's going to have to do that. The Indians really need this one. The Sox really want this one. Let's see how it plays out.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. AT&T Uverse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT. Mobilizing your world. And by Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
Welcome back to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field. It's 72 degrees at game time as a finale, the third final and rubber game of the series, about to take place with Johnny Danks on the hill. Let's take a look at how Terry Francona is going to line up his Indians tonight. Michael Bourne to lead it off, and Jose Ramirez, a switch hitter in the 2 spot. Michael Brantley, who's been all everything in the 3 spot, with Carlos Santana, Jason Kipnis, Mike Aviles, who's been terrorizing the Sox this year, along with Zach Walters, Tyler Holt, and Roberto Perez rounding it out behind the plate. The defensive setup and how they'll line up behind Johnny Danks, it's Diaz, Eaton, and Garcia in the outfield, with Connor Gillespie, Alexi Ramirez, Carlos Sanchez, and Jose Abreu in the infield. Tyler Flowers gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is Johnny Danks. On for start number 27. He's looking for his 10th win. His ERA up close to 5. 104 strikeouts and 158 innings. He's been giving up the long ball, and that's been plaguing him. The umpires for the game tonight. Pretty good one behind the plate in Alan Porter. Gabe Morales at first. The crew chief Joe West at second. And Rob Drake is at third. And so after a win last night, keyed with 3 runs batted in by Jose Abreu. Sox go at it again before Detroit comes to town. They've thrown the ball around the infield, which means we're ready to play baseball. I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Steve. Thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here over Comcast Sportsnet. Finale of the 3-game set. As Michael Bourne will lead it off. '31-year-old center fielder as he takes ball 1. He's 4 for 9 in the series with an RBI. Comes in hitting at .267, 3 homers. He's driven in 25. And that is trouble. Ball gets by Diaz. And now Bourne's going to go ahead and mosey on into third base.
You got to know how to play that carom in your home ballpark. And unfortunately, Alejandro didn't. Should have been 2 bases. Instead, it's 3.
Well, that's where he made his mistake.
Charging the wall.
He's not going to throw him out at second base. So you give him the double. You just make sure you don't go over there and get caught close like he did. That's just a mental mistake.
Does goes a 3-base hit. And some early problems for a team that's really given Johnny Danks some problems over the course of his career. He's 5-10 against the Tribe with an ERA of 5.21 coming in.
Switch hitting shortstop Jose Ramirez. He's a good-looking young player. Good-looking young player, just 21 years old.
Indians are absolutely ecstatic with what he brings to the party.
Gotta be. Got to be.
They just wanted a guy after Asdrubal Cabrera, who was a pretty good player for them, but Cabrera didn't have the greatest range at shortstop. Either did Johnny Peralta, who preceded him. And so Ramirez, unlike those last 2, has very good range at shortstop.
Fouls that back. Threw that by him upstairs at 91. And that's a souvenir right side. Indians come in with that .255 team average and a 3.65 team ERA. There, 28-39 on the road, 39-25 at home.
One thing we noticed the last couple games with Ramirez is you can get 2 strikes on him but he has some long at bats. He fouls off a lot of pitches, especially for a young hitter.
He defends that plate very well.
You don't find many guys that have the ability to do that.
No, he's not going to let you get over that plate or around that plate without getting a piece of it.
It's going to be 8 pitches in this first at bat. So regardless of the resolution of the at bat, it's going to be a successful at bat because he's made Johnny Danks work.
And he's given Michael Brantley a much better perspective. And safe. Well, we caught a break, then we didn't get a break.
Yeah, he would have scored easily if he just ran on the ground ball to shortstop, but by hesitating, now he made it a close play and he scored anyway. So it does go as a run driven in for Ramirez. That's his 8th. I'm not sure why he's not going here, knowing where the shortstop is, and Lexi was back. Now he takes off and beats the relay.
Wow, not a good way to start a ball game. So here's Brantley. Michael at 308, 18 homers and 82 driven in. 1 for 8 in the series with an RBI. Takes first pitch strike. This is the 16th meeting of the year between these two clubs. In the first 15, our Sox have won 9 of them.
Especially dominating the Indians in this ballpark. And of course, we will see them after the off day Monday. Head to Minneapolis for a pair. Off day Thursday, and Cleveland for 3.
Up the middle. Sanchez. And a good play. Good play by Carlos. Having a real quick transfer.
When this went off the bat, it looked like it was going to be a base hit. Brantley, who has decent but not great speed, not able to beat the play, and an excellent play by Carlos Sanchez. Got rid of it quickly, had to. Got it there an eyelash ahead of Brantley.
Here's Carlos Santana. One of 3 switch hitters in the lineup. He's hitting .228, 21 homers and 61 driven in. Takes first pitch strike. Alan Porter behind the plate. He's a good umpire.
He's given us some very good games behind the plate since he came in the league.
Better way to put it is he has not given us a bad game. He has not had a bad game behind the plate or in the field in 2 years.
Santana, a better hitter from the right side. Not near as much of a pull hitter as a right-hand hitter as he is as a left-hand hitter. There you see the disparity. Now, obviously, the 16 home runs from the left side. He has many more left-handed at bats. .294 as opposed to .135 right-handed.
Knocks it down, picks it up, and throws him out. But the leadoff triple, a gift triple. And they lead it 1-0.
2 spot, with red-hot Jose Abreu in the 3 spot. Then it's Adam Dunn, the DH, Avisail Garcia, Connor Gillespie, Tyler Flowers, Alejandro Diaza, and Carlos Sanchez at second and hitting 9th. The defense and how they'll line up behind Carlos Carrasco is Brantley, Bourne, and Holt in the outfield, with Aviles, Ramirez, Kipnis, and Santana in the infield. Roberto Perez just had a terrific series behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Carlos Carrasco. ERA 3.14. He's 5-4. He started now for the 8th time tonight. He can top out at 97.98. He throws from what looks like the stretch on every pitch. He has no movement, which is becoming more fashionable these days, but after being moved out of the bullpen, he has been untouchable in 3 starts.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. And a meeting takes ball 1.
That was 99 miles an hour. And
that might be one reason he's been pitching well.
He will keep that velocity throughout this performance. He's got an exploding slider also.
Another one at 99, and the count 2-0. There's the strike. Count evens at 2.
Carrasco is the lone member left from the Cliff Lee trade from the Philadelphia Phillies. And because of that, he put undue pressure on himself each and every time he went out to substantiate that deal, and it didn't work out at the beginning of the year.
Full count. Well, everything is self-induced, and the biggest killer of performance is pressure.
He was, and you're right, because he was putting it all on himself in things that really didn't matter very much to other people. All they wanted was performance, and he was inhibiting his own performance.
And that's a souvenir.
So they put him in the bullpen. His arm is so good that they decided to give him one more shot in the starting rotation, because guys that can throw 99 consistently and keep that velocity are few and far between. They couldn't trade for a guy like that. So they brought him out. He's comfortable from the stretch. That's where he found it in the pen, and that's what he does now.
And there's the leadoff walk. Here comes Alexei.
If history dictates anything, Carrasco is 0-4 with an ERA of 6.81 lifetime against our Sox. So he has not been a mystery to this point.
Well, he wasn't bringing 99 up there either.
Nope. He was a different pitcher in those days. Let's see if he has some control problems early.
Well, Frank Count said coming out of spring training last year, he expected Carrasco to be a big part of their rotation. Just didn't work out. That fastball at 98. Better be on your toes with this youngster Perez.
Well, he's been very impressive in this series. Every aspect of the game.
Just a decent lead. And look at this. So Adam pulls up on the duck snort by Alexei.
Doesn't get a whole lot of it. It's up and in, but enough to get it over the head of Kipnis. And Holt doesn't pull the trigger right away. Adam Eaton rounded second base, but Holt did not get the throw off. So Carrasco in some problems early.
Those leadoff walks tend to put you in.
And that's something recommended if you want to stay scoreless in that first inning.
So here's Abreu, 4 for 7 with 2 RBIs in the series.
The first pitch thrown with the base runner at second base, and the set of signs sometimes gets a little confusing. 330 with runners in scoring position, but lately he's hitting .500.
That one at 96, taken inside. Made a good pitch on him right there.
First slider he's thrown, and that shows you how good it is. Our Menard's pitch tracks, and this one in just a perfect spot.
And the count 1-2. Sox come in hitting at .257 as a club with a 4.42 ERA. Sox 32 and 33 here at home. And here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line. 375 in the gaps and 400 straightaway center. Out and around, that one's off the plate.
I don't know. I don't know how he did it, but he got a piece of that slider at 90 miles an hour, and it was 6 inches outside.
Ate him up, made a good pitch, and he just fought it off.
This one will get most people. 96 moving in on your hands. Was they able to stay alive?
He has been one of the best short arm hitters in this league in his rookie season.
His ability to adjust pitch to pitch has been remarkable.
And there's a little looper, Bourne. And that's out number 1. So with 1 down, 2 on, let's check out our picks to click. DiMangio, our director and crew. Well, they went with Eaton. See, he's going with Gillespie and the Bertucci boys, Bobby, Bruno, Handsome Anthony, to go along with their cohort, Tommy Sheridan. We're going to go with Alexei. So here's Adam. Adam with a big RBI double, a bullet last night. Then he takes first pitch strike. That one at 99.
Paul Konerko. Good article in the paper today. Talking with Don Cooper.
Quickly, 2 strikes.
That one probably a mistake because it was a fastball and it was down. And Corey Kluber was thrown pretty hard last night. Got a fastball down to Adam and he crushed it. Turned out to be one of the real big blows in the ball game.
He did not go.
Good stop by Perez.
High into right center field. Bourne now taking charge. Adam will tag, moving to third. So 2 down, runners at the corners.
It's kind of interesting when they were toying with the idea of bringing Carrasco back out of the bullpen to start. It was suggested by the front office that maybe September would be a good time to do it. But Terry Francona insisted that they start him at the end of August, and the reason being he wanted him to face players that were everyday players, not any call-ups. They want to see if he could do it because they would love to see him in their plans for next year. He's got a great arm, and they didn't want to just leave it to a lot of players who probably are not going to be there next season. And he certainly is getting his 4th start, and he's responded with everything they've given him so far.
He can't get it. Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, general managers in the past, go back, say, 15 years, maybe 10, but 15 for sure, on back. On a scale of 1 to 10, they would listen to their managers about a 9, 9.5.
Yeah.
Today, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's probably about a 5, 5.5.
I think one of the big factors is when you've got a relatively young general manager, as Chris Antonetti is, although he had some good teaching from Mark Shapiro, who's still there in presidential capacity, and you bring in a 2-time world champion manager who is one of the best managers in the game, tendency to maybe listen a bit more.
They don't listen anywhere near as much as they used to. They want to be in decision making. Slider got him. After 1, it is 1-0 Indians. game on Saturday, September 13th. In addition to a specially priced ticket system, fans will receive a special White Sox Bulls hat. We'll also have the opportunity to participate in a pregame fan fest and parade. So for tickets, visit whitesox.com/Chicago Bulls. 1-0 bad guys here in the second.
Her first White Sox game, you can't beat that.
Kipnis hitting at .251, 6 homers, 39 driven in. Been a tough year for Jason. Two and 0.
Not that cold at the ballpark. But an interesting chapeau.
That is a good look.
It's a guess. On her, it is.
2-1. Three and 1. It's full.
Mike Aviles, who we've always brought the best out of in the on-deck circle.
That is foul. And into the seats, a souvenir.
The one break I thought we caught was that perennial Sox killer Ryan Rayburn on the disabled list. Johnny Dank's happy that Yan Gomes, the catcher, is on the 7-day disabled list. Neither of them playing in the series, as is Nick Swisher, who's also disabled.
So there's the leadoff walk.
Don's got a good move to first base, and I'm sure that Kipnis will bear that in mind. He swiped 19, but caught twice.
Aviles, 252, 5 homers, 32 knocked in. 2 for 4 in the series with an RBI.
Indians made one of the best trades in their history, getting Mike Aviles and Yan Gomes from Toronto for Esmiel Rogers. It was back in 2012.
That's into short center field.
His 2-run homer in the first game was a deciding blow in that one, but he hit that from the left side. Switch hitter does have power. A little more left-handed than right, but he's pretty strong.
6 home runs and 9 RBIs.
6 home runs in 14 games. That's pretty good. He was acquired from the Washington Nationals for Asdrubal Cabrera.
That is high and deep. Piazza makes the catch, jumps up and makes the catch. Beautiful timing play by Alejandro. Yeah, a little mix up in communication, but the ball got caught is the big thing.
That wind, which is blowing steadily and pretty briskly, kept this one in the ballpark. Diaz goes up. He is a lot taller than Adam Eaton, and he makes the play.
Very close. Very close. If he doesn't get his glove on it, to being out of here. But he got it. A beautiful catch. And here's Tyler Holt. Played in game 1, went 0 for 3. Ball coming off Zach Walters. That has a good sound.
He's a strong guy.
There have been guys in the past, you know, that was with ash bats, so it's a little different with maple bats. But you could be watching or talking to somebody during batting practice, and you could hear this guy in the cage not looking at him, and you can tell who was hitting. Very few guys like that, but there were some. There's a nice snap. So a good play by Alejandro Diaz. They still lead it 1-0.
By Miller Lite. And tomorrow, the White Sox and Tigers start a 4-game series at U.S. Cellular Field. Don't miss the action beginning at 7 right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Gillespie will lead it off for us. He'll be followed by Flowers and Diaz.
A redeemer for Alejandro, as he and Adam might have gotten a little mixed up, but the taller man went up and took it away.
Well, redeemer is the right word. That's why this is such a great game. You have a chance. You make a boo-boo, you have a chance to redeem yourself sometime in that game. Yeah. As a rule.
You do.
Gillespie at 307, 6 homers, 48 driven in. Takes first pitch. Slider strike.
Against the Indians in 12 games, Connor Gillespie has been all everything.
Pulled a string on him right there. Had him off balance out in front in the count. 0-2.
Carrasco does have a pretty decent straight change, although it is his third pitch. And the curveball, to this point, has been somewhat of a mystery. He doesn't throw it very much.
He got a real good slider.
He's got a really good slider.
Don't have to. Detroit beat the Yankees 3-2 today. Alex Avila with a walk-off single off the right field wall, scoring Victor Martinez. That's back. Bottom of the fourth in Baltimore, tied at 2 with Tampa Bay. Bottom of the second, Kansas City tied at 2 with Minnesota. Earlier, a couple finals. Giants beat the Rockies 4-1, and Cincinnati over the Cubs 7-2 at the Great American Ballpark. Full count.
Carrasco walked Eaton to lead off the first inning. Then Ramirez singled, and he did a nifty job of getting out of first and second, nobody out, without giving up a run in the first. But he is starting to pile up the pitches early in this one.
Kipnis, ball hit sharply. 1 out. So here's Tyler. Flowers at 234, 9 long ones, and 40 driven in. Watch out. On the fist. Got him. 2 down.
This one not where he wanted it, but it was effective. I think it was a backup changeup. Well, Mark Burley had another record go by the boards today. He had retired 45 straight. That was the record. 45 straight hitters. Back in 2009 with our Sox, Yasmero Petit of the Giants retired 46 consecutive batters. That happened in the third inning against the Rockies. The most impressive thing about that was he had retired 38 hitters going into the game, but it took 7 appearances. And that is a good trick. So congrats to Yasmero Petit, 29-year-old right-hander with the Giants.
Ramirez makes it look easy. 1-2-3 inning. He's retired 6 in a row, and he leads it 1-0. Paul Konerko throughout September with tributes and special giveaways. Now join Club Konerko, that's the special outfield section, to receive an exclusive Paul Konerko collectible. So for tickets and information, visit whitesox.com/Konerko. Roberto Perez, 4 for 7 in this series. And he is a good-looking young catcher. And against us has been a good-looking young hitter. Hitting at .280 with a homer and 4 knocked in. John Gomes is their catcher.
He's going to be back in the not-too-distant future. In the meantime, they found out a whole lot about Roberto Perez. He can play.
Now field straight up.
We've seen him in this series block pitches, hit the ball hard, bunt for a base hit, and throw out a would-be base stealer easily.
Well, he's done everything right.
He's got a chance to be one of the best backup catchers in all of baseball, because with Yan Gomes, that's probably what he's going to be doing.
Here you go. The old changeup.
Good straight change. Disappears well out of the zone. A nice block by Tyler Flowers. And Perez expands that zone and goes down on strikes.
Well, here's Bourne. He hit a line shot down the left field line and got by Diaza. They gave him a triple. And he scored on the ground ball by Ramirez. There's a strike. Check swing. Tapper, boy, that's activating things for a hitter.
you leave the bat in the zone, and
man,
you tap it in the infield.
I'd like to have a dozen golf balls for every time I've done that.
Well, on the other side of the coin, pitchers love this. That's one of the few curveballs John has thrown and completely fooled Bourne. And it's easy after that.
Well, you know, the funny thing about it is it doesn't happen very often against hard throwers. It's usually guys who are not hard throwers who got a change up or, you know, a curveball, good curveball, whatever. It'll get you to do that.
I've seen twice, just twice, fastballs behind a hitter's head, hit the bat and go straight to the pitcher.
I've seen it once.
I mean, that's,
I can recall.
It's a rarity.
That youngster just rifles that one into center field for a base hit. I saw it at Fenway Park one time. I can't remember who the hitter was. Didn't go exactly back to the pitcher, but the pitcher fielded it.
Couldn't have been real happy with that. First of all, your life passes before your eyes, and second of all, you're out.
Well, in that time frame, there was a opposing hitter. At that time, our guy was probably trying to hit him in the head.
Some guy just took one right in the head, but it was on a carom. He turned around and almost tried to catch it, but then it went off the wall and banged him in the noggin.
Brantley, a little soft. Ground ball that Carlos Sanchez made a nice play to get it. Just get him at first. 1-1 with 2 out here in the top of the third. Yanks that one foul. He gone. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. And we'll go to the bottom of the third. It's still a 1-0 Cleveland lead.
A chance to have it shown on our broadcast later in the game, brought to you by AT&T.
They lead at 1-0 here in the bottom of the third inning with some rain on its way. According to my radar, it's pretty close. So here's Sanchez. Carlos 1 for 7 in the series with a couple of nice plays he's made. And 1 to count.
And congratulations go out to Dylan Axelrod, who won his first game in a Cincinnati Reds uniform. Went 5 scoreless innings against the Cubs. And Cincinnati found a way to beat Jake Arrieta. They stole 6 bases against him.
Dylan is just, boy, there's a 3-hopper. There's a guy that, from the very fiber of your being, that you root for.
Well, I'm glad they called him up, and I'm glad he had a good ball game, and hopefully things work out for him with the Reds.
Yep. Yep. Here's Adam. He walked leading off the bottom of the first. close. Then it goes Carrasco's way. Checks it up. He did not go. Full count. And there's a shot, base hit.
Here's our Lowe's never stop improving stat, and it centers around Adam Eaton. Last 22, hitting .429, on base percentage of .478, and he was disabled 9th through the 25th. Very happy to be back in the lineup. His personality does not dictate being all that happy on the disabled list. Said he was driving his wife a little bit crazy because he couldn't play.
So here is Alexei. He singled and picked up a stolen base. Checks it up, fouls it off, and the count 0-1.
Pretty good numbers career-wise against Carrasco.
Big 4-game set out at the Big A in Anaheim. Oakland and the Halos. You did not know Gordon Beckham hit his first home run for them last night. Got a couple of hits.
That's good. He's another guy that you root for.
Angels with a 1-game lead coming into the night. Today, I should say, on the A's. 1-2.
There you look at the standings. With the Mariners, a very good year, 72-60, but they're chasing two excellent ball clubs in the Angels and the Athletics.
Almost threw it away. Good play by Santana. That pitch nicely.
Menard's pitch tracks, and this one doesn't miss by much. It's his two-seam fastball. Good movement. And Alexei laid off.
Oh, he got a cookie right there and couldn't do anything with it. And nice play by Aviles.
Didn't make it.
Oh, he missed it. Thought there for a second he caught it. There's a cookie.
That's a hanging slider. Aviles has a shot, but the wind is blowing it back over his head. Just tipped off the glove, it looked like.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw his glove move.
That'll go as no play. And the wind is really stiffened up as the rain gets closer.
Yeah, it's coming. One 2-0 for them. 0-2-0 for us if you're just tuning in. Full count. Bottom of the fifth in Baltimore. Tampa Bay leading 4-2, but the Orioles have the bases loaded and nobody out. And Nelson Cruz at the plate.
You got to figure Adams going to be going.
There's a strike him out. Bad throw into center field. That'll be an error on Perez as second. Stolen base number 13 for Adam.
Carrasco gets him on a slider, and the throw well wide of the bag. Ramirez, with all his momentum going toward the bag, can't go back and get it. So puts the tying run 90 feet away. One time they had a shot at pitching around Abreu last night, chose not to, and it cost him a run. The other time would have loaded the bases with one out. You could make a case for doing that. If you got a chance to not let Abreu beat you, you would think it would be prudent not to have that happen. But hopefully he goes right at him, tries to get him out. Brimming with confidence after getting him out the first time.
Hit a little soft fly ball in the center field. There's that slider strike.
Last 11, Jose's been swinging it pretty well. 10 driven in, 9 scored. They caught a break on that fastball because that had a lot of the low part of the strike zone. And there's the paw, enthralling the fans.
Out and around it to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There are 2 out with Eaton at third. There's a shot base hit. This game is tied at 1.
I'm real happy he had confidence to face him.
Getting the over breaking ball.
Want to throw it low and away. He got it there. And again, Jose knows he is a premier run producer. not only in all of baseball, but maybe before it's over, one of the best ever. And he goes out of the strike zone to produce runs. That pitch was low and away, probably a good 3 inches outside, 2 inches below the zone, and it turns into 3 away from 100 for Abreu.
Just a roller. He didn't stay on top. He's trying to throw it for a low and away strike. I love it when they get pitched to him.
Yes, sir.
Adam just missed one. High towering fly ball in the center field. Outside corner. The 0-2 pitch. Got him, but the 2-out RBI single, his 97th ribby. We go to the fourth, tied at 1. Take on the Tigers at 6:10, and all fans are invited to stay for a post-game fireworks show presented by your local Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. So purchase tickets, whitesox.com or 866-SOX-GAME. Hyundai dealers. That is Saturday, August 30th. This Saturday. And also check out that Equus and that Genesis. Here's Santana. Hit a hard comebacker. Danks, who knocked it down, picked it up and threw him out. Full count to Santana. High pop up. And it's going to be a souvenir.
On a normal night, that one might have had a shot of rotating back toward the field of play. But with the wind blowing as it is, it just batted it further into the crowd.
Change up.
Right into the Sox dugout.
Well, Baltimore tied that game up at 4 with Tampa Bay on a throwing error by Yunel Escobar. Bases were loaded, 1 out. Double play ball hit. He threw it away at first. So there's the leadoff walk. Second leadoff walk issued by Banks. Kipnis can't get it. He drew the leadoff walk in the second inning. Fakes the bunt. Takes the ball. Banks on top in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Nice play by Abreu. Beautiful play by Jose. And going back to whoever told him well, he couldn't play first base, if they're a scout, they ought to be fired.
But one thing he did know is Santana doesn't run very well. And so he realized if he came in, smothered it, he had a shot. Not about a first baseman would have taken a gamble. But he did, and it paid dividends. He cuts down the lead runner.
Well, being smart is part of being a good first baseman.
This is a real good play. That's a real good play.
You got 99.9% of the first baseman right there, especially the right-handers. Or you're going to play the chalk. They're going to get the out at first. Aviles went out to Eaton in center. One out, 1-2 the count. Top of the 4th in Kansas City. Minnesota leading 3-2. And that's in the right center field. 2 down.
Time now for our Xfinity high-speed action replay. And it came off the bat of Zach Walters in the second inning. The play by Alejandro Diaz. He went back, got a little tangled up with Adam Eaton, but he reached over the wall and brought it back in, saving a 2-run bomb. And a nice play by Alejandro.
Hughes, that one foul. Over by Tyler Holt. Got a little Joe Mauer look-alike in him.
You'd like to have just a modicum of the success of the 3-time batting champion Joe Mauer.
Gave him a big motion with a little quick pitch there and then pulled the string. There he goes. And he is safe, picking up his 20th stolen base in 22 attempts.
No chance at all for Tyler Flowers here. Kipnis just guessed right. He was going on first move. Got a huge jump. Beat that play easily.
Two balls, two strikes, two out. Game tied at 1 here in the top of the 4th with rain coming. He gone. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Garcia to lead us off. For Military and First Responders Appreciation Day presented by GovX. So for all current or former military or first responders to get savings on tickets, gear, and more, visit whitesox.com/GovX.
Cotton candy, you can't beat it.
Hello, cotton candy.
I like the sugarless kind.
Well, just go ahead and eat some straw.
That's about it.
Two hopper right over the top with that one. So Avi is retired. He's now 0 for 2. And that'll bring up Gillespie, who's 0 for 1. Hit the ball sharply to Kipnis at second. Chopper 2 hopper. Kipnis going to get him again. Here's Tyler. He struck out his first trip. Takes first pitch strike. Second pitch strike. Slider. More of a slurve there. Sometimes guys who have a good slider through the first 3 or 4 innings sort of morphs into a slurve as the game goes on.
I think the mistakes he's made, and that was one of them, the mistakes he's made have been with the slider. He was lucky to get away with that. That one right over the middle of the plate, but he had Tyler out in front of it. Our Honda pitch tracks, and you can see this one just comes up there spinning.
That one at 95 and the count 1-2. That's what Earl Weaver used that gun for. As you well know, you played and pitched for him.
Did that.
He used it for the slider more than any other thing. He told me, he said, I don't care about the fast. I can see the fastball. He said, and that slider falls off a couple of miles. He gets him. He says, it's time to get somebody ready. 1, 2, 3 inning. We'll go to the 5th, tied at 1. first 20,000 fans will receive a Tony La Russa bobblehead. A Tony La Russa bobblehead. And as you can see, post-game show presented by all the great folks at Hyundai. That's Saturday, August 30th. Tigers, 6:10 p.m. So WhiteSox.com or 866 Sox game. Tyler Holt, Roberto Perez, and Michael Bourne.
John's been throwing pretty well tonight. Only 2 hits in 4 innings. Giving up a couple of walks. Has yet to have a 1-2-3 inning, but pitched out of some problems when he's had them.
Change up. It's about as crisp as this fastball's been in a while.
91. It's got a little movement to it, and he's used it pretty effectively tonight.
Ball hit hard. Nice play. Nice play, Alexei. That ball was absolutely scalded.
One hop rocket. Alexei gets down, and then you can't outrun the arm.
Not just the American League. I just can't imagine any shortstop in baseball having a better defensive season than Alexei.
There's only one to probably match him. That's Andrelton Simmons of the Braves.
They say he
really
is something.
He is really good.
Yeah, I was talking with first time we went out to play Oakland, or the first time we went out to San Francisco. And Atlanta was in there. They were playing the Giants at the same time. And I was talking with Greg Walker and Birdie, the skipper. We were talking about him. He said he is really something. He said he's a game changer. He said if you watch him play every day, he just continues to pop your eyes out.
Well, because his arm is so strong, he was a pitcher that threw 95, and his arm is so strong, what he'll do many times is go in the hole, and you know the old school jump pass, he'll jump in the air and fire it across and get it there for the base runners. He might have the only arm that's a little bit better than Alexei, but there's not many. With those two guys, they're probably right at the top.
Well, I asked Freddie, I said, is he as good as I've heard? He goes, Hockey said he might even be better. He said he might be the best there ever was.
He's special.
I know one thing, Alexei's been special.
This has been just a wonderful year for him, and if it doesn't culminate in a Gold Glove in the American League, he will have gotten robbed.
Yeah, well, last year we understand why it was the down season for him, because of the tragedy that his family suffered. Full count to Perez. Struck him out on a good changeup his first at bat.
That man represents the one run the Indians have gotten with his leadoff triple.
He gone. Good pitch.
Tough to look for 3-2 changeups, and that's what he got. Perfect pitch. He looks at it and takes a walk.
Breaking ball strike to Michael, who is 1 for 2 with that triple and run scored. Yes, he did. Oh, 0-2 the count. Hard, high, slow, low. Hard, low, and in. Here you go. 5 strikeouts now. 1, 2, 3 inning. We're halfway home, tied at 1.
Way to go, Art Chuck. Good segue.
It was.
No, but I got to give him confidence.
Piazza tries to bunt it.
Take a look at these beanies. Great embroidery. That's the R2D2 beanie.
Oh, and 2 the count. And ball into left field and caught by Michael Brantley. So 1 out, and here's Sanchez. He grounded out to Ramirez. It's short. Jose Ramirez. Young man's got a chance to be quite a player. Just turned 22 years old. 1-1 to count.
That was a pretty good slider that dipped out of the zone.
Well, he's got a. That's going to be the pitch. Looks like he can lay off the high fastball, which a lot of youngsters can.
Yep.
But it has trouble laying off that slider from the right-hander down and in with breaking ball down and in. Good tie by Carrasco, just off the corner. His counterpart.
Well, there's an example of what a pitcher tries to do and a hitter makes a mistake, and that is throw a fastball low and away, and you hope the hitter is going to try to get out there and pull it. That was a good fastball low and away, and unfortunately Carlos went out, tried to pull it. When that happens, more times than not, unless you're really astonishingly strong, you're going to ground to the right side. And that's what happened. But as young as he is, he's going to learn to take that pitch either to left field or back up the middle.
Well, to his degree of proficiency is going to be how much baseball acumen he has, and he seems to have a lot. But a lot of guys who had a lot of physical talent that never lasted long in the big leagues because they just couldn't make adjustments. Slicing Brantley. He's there in foul ground and makes the catch. So now Adam 1 for 2 with our run scored, also a stolen base. We'll go to the 6th, tied at 1.
Doubleheader in St. Louis. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Cubs pregame live. Cubs Cardinals Saturday at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Jose Ramirez, Michael Brantley, and Carlos Santana here in their half, the top half of the 6th inning. Ramirez is 1 for 2 with an RBI. That RBI coming with a ground ball in the first. And now he is 2 for 3. Just the 3rd hit given up by Banks.
To this point, Michael Brantley's never had much luck with Johnny Danks, including tonight. John has to have that continue.
That's a good spot. That's where he struck him out on back in the 3rd inning.
Pretty good numbers for John tonight. The fastball is lively. Straight change is down.
Fakes a bunt, takes a strike. And the count 0-2.
That was a break. That ball was well off the plate. Brantley a little unhappy, but he's in a hole.
Well, I've been counting it. That's only the 2nd pitch that Alan Porter missed tonight. That's pretty good. You've seen over 150 of them. He's one of the best he's become one of the best in the league. I love it. That's one of the first things Steve and I both do when we get to the ballpark in the new series. Look at who's umpiring.
Look and see who's got the plate.
Yeah.
You pretty much tell how the evening's going to go.
Many times, sure. There you go. No chance. So he picks up his 4th stolen base in 4 attempts.
Takes a good pitch to run. This ball is off the plate, and again, just a great jump. And I'm not sure if you could have got him out with a cannon.
I remember a series we had out in Oakland when DJ was my partner, and first it was a 3-game set. We both looked at it, and we both said the same thing. Uh-oh. And sure enough, that pitch fell down. We got swept in that 3-game series, and 2 of them were on very, very controversial plays at home plate. Two of those umpires are no longer umpiring. Just pokes that one, but it's foul. One 3-1 for them. 1 3-0 for us here in the 6th inning. Chopper. Alexei. Yes! He guns him out. Mercy. What a beautiful play by Ramirez.
He did the exact same thing to Michael Brantley last night. He's ranging up the middle, going on the first base side of second and gunning it across to get him by a half step. This is a huge play.
Only way that play can be made is if you have a great arm, which he has. So now the infield in, as here's Santana, who's hit a hard comebacker to Danks, knocked it down, picked it up and threw him out, and then he walked the second at bat. Yeah, when you got two great arms out there like Ramirez and Beckham had, that's the reason we were leading the major leagues in double plays. That extra half step that gun makes.
What a huge difference. That's first and third, nobody out. That opens the door for a very big inning.
Nice pick by Tyler. Three and one. Kipnis on deck. Caught. Two down.
That's one of those plays. Unfortunately, it was hit to the glove side. One of those plays where you put the glove out, you just don't know how hard it's hit. It's off the end of the bat, and John was able to make the play, save the go-ahead run from scoring.
That's key.
The man can field his position.
Yes, he can. Well, he had a good teacher.
Yes.
So here's Kipnis, Mark Burley. Yeah, if that ball gets by him, the run's going to score. As there's a curveball strike to Kipnis, who has walked.
Kipnis thought it was high, but that ball was in the zone.
Well, that's the thing about being a good umpire. When you have a good umpire back there and you know it, even if he misses a pitch on it, you don't complain. Good umpires very seldom getting any problems.
No. Because most hitters have just a very good judge of the strike zone. They might swing at pitches out of the zone, but they know if a fastball is a ball or strike.
Yeah. Well, too, the culture there with the umpires has changed. When in my time zone, if you had a good umpire behind the plate, say he called a pitch that was a little high or outside of it, you wouldn't look at him. He'd just say, "I may have blown that one, Hawk." Yeah. And that ended everything right there. But they very seldom, good umpires ever missed a two-strike pitch. They might occasionally miss a first pitch or a one-strike, but very seldom ever miss a two-strike pitch. So, what new? It's a 2-1 ball game. Kipnis, 40th RBI.
And even in a year when Jason Kipnis has really struggled, had some physical problems, not near up to his standards, he still does pretty well when he comes in front of the home folks here and faces our staff.
Well, he's just a good major league player. He's been better than average hitter.
I was going to say, he's been pretty tough against our boys. And sure leaves a lot of passes, has a lot of friends come to the game to see him.
Ball smoked. Off the glove. And here's the throw to third. Knocked down by Gillespie as Danks was right where he should be, backing up. Meanwhile, Aviles with his first hit of the game.
And Kipnis is shaken up. I don't know if his nose hit the bag or exactly what happened, but He took a gamble.
Oh, he caught his foot, it looked like.
Yeah, he caught the back end of the spike of Connor Gillespie. He's going to put the pressure on Adam Eaton. And yeah, he gets a foot in the face for his efforts. He's going to come away okay. Now watch the left foot. Right foot. Right foot gets him. By the way, Connor did a really nice job of stopping that ball from getting by.
It's a good thing Jason didn't have my nose.
Well, he'd hit him around second base.
Truth hurts me. I'll tell you. There he goes. That pitch is fouled. Kipnis, one of those guys, you know, when he had that battle, Blake was on the DL for a while. You know, it just absolutely killed him.
There's no doubt. I talked with him about it, and it's really frustrating because those things. Well, you said you had it seemingly forever. Those things just don't seem to heal.
I played with it for 6 years.
That's just amazing.
That ball into right center field and caught by Ivy. That's a hang with them for Zach Walters. But they come up with one. We'll go to the bottom of 6, trailing by 1.
Spectacular. This one almost out of the ballpark, but for Alejandro Diaz. Great play by Ramirez at shortstop. He's got another one coming. This the second of the spectacular varieties. And then Johnny Diggs, for the moment, saving a run. Good play and a line drive right back to him.
Well, it's the first rule in baseball. It's not pitching, it's not hitting. You catch the baseball. That's the first rule in the game. And you'll have a lot of close games. This game right now could be a 1-1 ball game. But Alexei to lead it off. He's 1 for 2 with a stolen base. There's that slurve. Strike.
The last 33, including tonight, Alexei hitting a robust .306, but 5 home runs and 21 driven in, as well as 20 scored. Those are impressive numbers. Ronald Belisario loosening up in the pen.
Abreu on deck, gun in the hole. One out.
Similar to the last at bat in that he throws a slider and gets him. That's a nasty slider when he keeps it there. 88 miles an hour. Not a lot of guys can throw a slider that hard.
No. Well, he started off throwing 90-mile-an-hour sliders and a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Brady 1 for 2 with that RBI single. Coming with 2 out in the 3rd inning. Picked up his 97th ribby. That's into right field, right at him. So Holt makes the catch. 2 down.
John's had a pretty good night tonight.
Boy, he has. Best night he's had in a while.
Against a team that historically has given him a lot of problems.
Yeah, he's been good.
Young man trying to lead the charge. Let's go.
First one 88, that at 89. And the count 0-2. Adam is 0 for 2. Garcia on deck. Ooh, nasty right there. Meanwhile, 1-2-3 inning. That is 10 in a row retired by Carrasco. White Sox logo in darndest places. This is in a cornfield in Tinley Park. Odyssey Fun Farm. Look at that beautiful White Sox logo they carved out there. 19111 Oak Park Avenue in Tinley Park. And I wish somebody would send me the name of the gentleman who did that. Send it to Bob Grimm here at the ballpark. That's beautiful.
Isn't it usually aliens that do that?
That's what they say.
Not this time, I don't think.
No.
And Ronald Belisario comes in the ball game in relief of Johnny Danks, who had one of his best nights in the second half of the season. Ronald 4.8 ERA up close to 6. And we'll see if he can hold him right there. The Indians lead 2-1.
And Chris Dickerson will hit for Tyler Holt. Two 5-1 for the Tribe. 1-3-0 for our guys. 3 hits we have. One by Eaton, one by Alexei, and one that drove in a run by Abreu. Dickerson hitting at .232. He has 2 homers and 6 knocked in.
Kerr's a pinch hitter. Very similar to what he's done this year. He's only had 4 opportunities. He's 1 for 4 as a pinch hitter. Johnny Danks went 6, gave up a couple of runs on 5 hits with 2 walks and 5 strikeouts.
Johnny Danks was good.
Yes, he was.
Best fastball he's had in a while. He was crisp with that. Kept his fastball a lot in certain spots up, and when he missed with the changeup, he missed down. He didn't miss with too many of them.
No, this was a good effort.
Two pitch to Dickerson. There you go. That one in 94.
He reaches up and out of the zone and can't catch up with a good movement. One of the big mysteries of Belisario is that he's got so much movement on his fastball. And yet you look at that ERA and it's just surprising. He's got everything he has to have to be successful here.
Yes, he does.
And at times he has been.
Well, sometimes guys with moving fastballs like that, most of the time it's good, but sometimes it's bad because you'll try to hit an outside corner and it just drifts back over the middle of the plate. Perez 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Johnny got him both times on changeups. There's the strike. Yeah, when you can throw anywhere from 94 to 96 with good movement, there's no reason in the world that you can't pitch in the big leagues.
There's a young man with a couple of gloves.
There's a breaking ball. Top foul. Well, rephrase that by saying there's no reason you shouldn't be able to pitch unless you just can't throw strikes, which you can't. He did not go. Says Gabe Morales. Just tuning in, they scored 1 in the first. We scored 1 in the third to tie it. RBI single by Abreu. Then last inning, they scored another one. There's a chopper in the center field. So 1 out, 1 on, and here is Michael Bourne. 1 for 3, that leadoff triple, and he scored the run in the first inning. Michael has faced Bella twice. He has 1 hit. Two and 0. Three and 0. Come back. No walking. There's one. And a full count. Well, according to my radar, we should be getting rain though. But we're not.
Said U.S. Cellular split.
It is. It's amazing. It really is. We're getting a little drizzle. Anyway, sometimes it looks like we're going to be safe, and all of a sudden we get absolutely a monsoon. Other times, just the opposite. And that is just foul.
Well, that's a break because that one didn't miss by much. No. Rob Drake on the call. Bourne goes out of the strike zone. Takes it down the line, but fortunately on the left side of the line.
And that's chop foul.
Nice catch by Ramirez in the on deck circle. A one hop grab.
And he makes a new friend.
There you go.
And there's a base hit. Chops it in the hole.
Well, Perez wasn't going to third anyway, but he almost got hit with this. That would have been a good break for our guys, but he managed to avoid it.
So here's been one of the main villains tonight. Ramirez knocked in that run in the first inning with a ground ball. Then he singled in the third. He singled, stole a base, and scored last inning. So he's accounted for the two runs. And he takes ball one.
Daniel Webb starting to throw in the pen.
Good looking young player. One and two. They may have found themselves a shortstop for a long time.
Problem is their number one prospect is a shortstop.
Well, it gives them some good trade bait then.
Yep. Because they're not moving anybody to second anytime soon, I don't think.
No, Kipnis is going to be there.
Francisco Lindor, we won't see him this year, but he is the number one prospect in the Cleveland organization. And we will see him in the not too distant future. But this young man has done everything right in the series.
Two and two. To Hopper, quickly to second, no chance. So two out runners at the corners. Hey, Ramirez can get it down that line too when he wants to.
Looked like they might have had a shot, but Ramirez runs pretty well. So the happiest man in the ballpark to see Johnny Danks leave was Michael Brantley. He didn't get the ball out of the infield against him.
Well, the last time up, Alexei just robbed him.
Yeah, that was
a spectacular play. But the thing was, the ball was not hit hard.
No, it was just
hit
highway robbery.
Exactly the right spot. Just tuning in, Johnny Danks was good. Brantley fouls it away. Michael has faced Bella twice and he has one hit.
Two outs and runners in scoring position since June 22nd. Brantley's hitting .450.
Good lead. And that pitch. Souvenir left side. Count nothing in two.
Both pitches been out of the zone. Zipchinski listening up in the bullpen. We're at the point where Terry Francona likes to play mix and match. We'll go through a lot of pitchers late. Though his starter, Carlos Carrasco, has had an outstanding night.
Yeah, this is his fourth straight strong outing. There he goes.
Another pitch out of the zone, but you don't want to get called out. So he was protecting. And there's a look at the right-hander getting another opportunity to move into the starting rotation. He was very good out of the bullpen after failing as a starter early in the season. But he threw exceptionally well here tonight.
There he goes. And look at this. It's a 3-1 lead. Boy, you're talking about a duck snort. That's the poster child right there.
RBI 83, and Brantley for over 2 months has hit now over 450 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. That's a statistic that will put a big smile on the manager's face. And that's going to be it for Belisario as Robin takes a long, slow walk to the mound and calls on Daniel Webb. So as he comes in, we'll step out and be back after these messages.
Tickets start as low as $5 and parking is just $10. So purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com/Sunday or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
Daniel Webb comes into the game. Runners at first and third. He's 5-4 this year, ERA of 3.77. And he's going to turn Carlos Santana around to hit from the left side for the first time tonight. More power, more of a dead pull hitter, but not as good a hitter as from the right side, where he lined out last time. Apparently something sticking out of the pocket of Daniel Webb. Gabe Morales calling time briefly.
There he goes.
Brantley 16 out of 17 in stolen bases, realizing that Daniel was not looking at him, just took off with no play.
Well, throughout the course of the season, if you're a smart base runner and you have a good idea of what's going on in a baseball game, you can pick up 10, 12 stolen bases with no problem whatsoever. I mean, guys that can't even run.
Well, there's guys that just don't look at you.
No. Well, you take Verlander. He never looks at the runner at first base. You know, they'll give him signs. The catcher will give him signs to throw over there, or he'll throw over there on instinct sometimes. But he never looks at the runner.
Never quite understood that, but
so Webb with a walk. Load him up for Kipnis. Got an RBI single last inning. Put him on top 2-1. Sacks packed with tribesmen.
And the career with the bases loaded for Jason has been pretty impressive.
He's just a player.
Time now for AT&T Uverse Multiview. Very good speed at second and third. Not so much at first.
Well, that's a great place to hit right here. 2 out, bases loaded. Guy just walked a man in front of you. You know you're probably going to get something good to hit, which he did. But we got a man there back on the track. Thank goodness it was to the deepest part of the field. Meanwhile, 7th inning stretch. We need 2 to tie. Bark at the Park at U.S. Cellular Field, presented by Avoderm Natural Nylabone. Bark at the Park. So for more information or to purchase your tickets, visit whitesox.com or call 866-SOX-GAME.
A lot of people tickets left, but the dogs have sold out. And Chris Dickerson stays in the game in right field.
All right. And here's Avi. Takes that fastball at 96. Here in the bottom of the 7th. 3-8-1 for them, 1-3-0 for us. Tanks was good, and Carrasco's been a little better. That's right at Dickerson. That'll bring up Gillespie. Twice he has gone out.
Last 4 starts. 10 hits in 24 in the 3rd innings. That's pretty amazing.
Well, when you throw that hard and you're getting your breaking ball over, you get a chance.
Well, Mickey Callaway really worked hard with him because it was very disappointing early part of the year. When he went into the bullpen, Mickey Callaway somehow was able to instill some confidence in him. And with an arm like that, that's all you need sometimes is confidence. And there's a look at Mickey Callaway on the right.
Oh, and 2 the count. Top of the 7th, Kansas City, 5-4 Minnesota. Alex Avila's walk-off single knocked in. Victor Martinez. Detroit beats the Yankees 3-2 at Comerica Park. Baltimore was trailing. Now they lead Tampa Bay 5-4. Houston leading Texas 4-2. That game in the top of the 7th down at Minute Maid.
Atchison and Zipchinski loosening up in the pen. Connors played Pepper a couple of times with Jason Kipnis at second. Outfield, a step toward left center. And Connor fouls it off again right into the Indians dugout. Pitch number 96 on the way from Carlos Carrasco. He came over from the Philadelphia Phillies. And a high hop and a good play by Santana. And he's able to make the play. That ball kicked up, almost went over his head. A lot of overspin on this one. He stays right with it and then beats Connor to the bag. Take a look at this hop. So Tyler Flowers with 2 outs here in the 7th. And a good play by the converted catcher, Carlos Santana. Tyler's been up twice, struck out looking and swinging. Looks at a slider off the outside corner.
Yeah, when you're not, he's made some mistakes, a couple of mistakes with that slider tonight, and gotten away with them. But only what, 3 or 4?
Not too many.
Not too many at all. So when you're commanding that slider with that fastball of his, good chance you're going to have some success.
He's retired 12 in a row. Gave up a single in the first to Ramirez. Then a single in the 3rd to Eaton. RBI single to Abreu, and that's been it. With 7 strikeouts and just a walk.
Well, the whole key, though, if you're looking at us, there's really only been 2 balls hit hard.
Well, that's exactly how he's looked since coming out of that bullpen into the starting rotation.
Yeah, when you go into the bottom of the 7th inning against a major league team, and there's a strike, and only 2 balls have been hit hard off each. You know, you've got some pretty good stuff that night. Two and 2 to Tyler. He would not bite.
Well, knowing the propensity of Terry Francona, if he doesn't get Tyler, he's going to bring in Zipchinski for Diaz, but Diaz will be probably taken down for Viciado.
And there is a base hit. Softly hit into right field. And here comes Francona. He will go to that pin in a hurry.
He got 6 in the third, and that's what he wanted out of Carrasco. And here comes Zipchinski. So as he comes in, we'll step out and be back after these messages. th time. This is his third time in as many games, and he's faced one hitter each and every time. There you look at some pretty impressive numbers with left-handers hitting just 159, but right-handers hitting 364, and it's a right-hander he'll face in Diane Viciedo, who comes on as a pinch hitter, 2 for 4. One long ball away from tying this one up.
And that's what we need. We trail it 3-1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. That's blown away. Two balls and a strike.
And all 3 pitches in the same spot, low and out of the strike zone.
That's into right field. Dickerson made a good play fighting those lights, stayed with it, made the catch, and that'll retire the side. We'll go to the 8th, trailing 3-1. premium features for only $4.99. So follow every White Sox game with live look-ins, replays, reviews, live radio broadcasts, MLB TV game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store. Sale ends soon. Visit whitesox.com/mobile.
Dan Viciedo stays in the game defensively in left field. Daniel Webb still in the game on the hill. And it appears that fan is ready for just about anything, including a glacier coming through.
Starting to sprinkle. We're lucky we got this far into it. Let me check it out again. My radar. Yeah.
It's here.
Oh, it's been here. It's just now starting to. Must be very high. It took a long time to get now. No, it's not going to be real bad, though. I think we might be able to play through it. There's his Aviles. He's 1 for 3. That's in the right field. Ivy. Aviles makes the catch for out number 1.
Ryan Shaw, who was so very good in the opener of this series, throwing in the pen. And it was a long outing for him. It was 2 1/3. And he didn't give up anything.
This guy's dangerous. Little slow chopper 2 hopper for out number 2. Zach 0 for 4 tonight. He just missed one his first at bat. Whew. Dickerson takes ball 1. Two 2-0 the count. And make your plans to be with us tomorrow night. First of a 4-game set against Detroit. And tomorrow night, Scott Carroll against Justin Verlander. There will be a doubleheader on Saturday. And then finish up that series on Sunday as that's out of play. Verlander 11-11 with a 4.82 ERA.
Strange numbers when you look at them next to his name with what he's accomplished in his career.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Now, if you can't make it to the ballpark tomorrow night, that game will be right here over Comcast Sportsnet. So he gone, I guess.
He's out. The inning's over. You can leave, boys.
All right, we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It is 3-1 Indians.
Brian Shaw, who's 5-3, his ERA 2.44, on for the 66th time. Not too good when he tries to save a ball game, but he is wonderful when he's setting it up for Cody Allen, who we haven't seen in the series yet.
And we have not seen Brian Shaw bat against us yet.
No, he's a good one.
Sanchez with a good concept. And the rain starting to fall a little bit.
Michael Clado, loose thing in the pen.
.21 to count. Softly hit. And that's out number one.
Shaw does naturally what a lot of guys have to do with their cutters, and that is hold the ball off center, make it move inside to a left-hand hitter, but his natural fastball, which is around 93 to 95, moves into a left-hand hitter and makes it doubly tough to hit. Almost hit him.
Start us off right here. He has walked, singled, stolen the base, scored our run, then fouled out to Brantley. And he is 1 for 2 against Brian Shaw.
Roger Bossard on point.
Good job. Like a stone skipping over water there.
This one off his leg. Right off his toe.
Good pitch. Count hangs at the ball and 2 strikes.
He went to heat it up there. That was 96. That's about the top end for Brian Shaw.
Three 8-1 for them, 1 4-0 for us. Just got a piece of it. And Connor wants to know. And Rob Drake saying,
now that ball was in the dirt.
yeah.
Now, I think Perez was saying, yeah, it was in the dirt, however he missed it. But he obviously got the top stitch.
Well, he got the endorsement of Alan Porter. Close, but good eye. That ball hit hard. Got a breaking ball up, but they got a man there. That's out number 2. Yeah, we're just a different looking ball club with that man in the lineup. And here's Alexei. He's 1 for 3 with a stolen base.
Big at bat for Alexei. If he gets on, the big man comes up representing the tying run.
Yeah, there's only 3 guys, 3 Sox players who've ever stolen the base in an All-Star game. Ray Durham did it in '98. Louis Aparicio did it in '59. And Alexei. Yeah, he's just had a wonderful season. There's a shot base hit. So he is 2 for 4. The Bertucci boys pick Bobby, Bruno, Handsome Anthony, go along with Tommy Sheriff. Boy, that's 4 of a kind right there. It'll be the full royal flush. So here is the opportunity that Steve just alluded to. Now he's faced Shaw twice and he's 0 for 2.
Still probably the one man Terry Francona did not want to see come to bat this inning.
I think Terry's seen enough.
Yeah, until we get to Cleveland for 3.
Checks it up on that cutter, slider. Oh, there was a bounce. Look at this. We get a break. Aviles.
Well, that time Mike let it play him.
Yep.
He had a choice. He could give some ground or move up and smother it. He did neither. And it bounced up and got him. And this one was right down the middle. Shaw finally hung one.
Oh, there it was.
And you see Aviles standing there. Again, you got a choice. Come and smother it or back up and step. He did neither. And it keeps the door open. So Shaw departs. And we'll step out and be back after these messages. 16 of them. It's 5-3 with an ERA of 1.75, 73 strikeouts in 56 2/3. Only 37 hits, successful in 17 of 18 save opportunities. And if he does nail this one down, it's going to be of the 4-out variety.
Out of Orlando, Florida. Boone High School. Ron Karkovic, Joe Carter. John Hart, who was the baseball coach there at one time. So here we go. Tying runs aboard. 3-8-2 for them, 1-5-0 for us.
Most amazing thing was Allen was a 23rd round draft pick. Was 698th pick overall in 2011. Never started a game in pro ball, and divine intervention is needed.
There's a broken bat over the head. So here comes Alexei. He's going to score, and it's a 3-2 ball game on the Duck snort by the big man, Adam Dunn.
I'm at number 51. This is a hanging breaking ball. And there's been a couple just eased over the head of Jason Kipnis tonight. And representing the go-ahead and potential winning run, Leury Garcia comes on to pinch run.
Well, one thing about it, Perez can throw. We know that. As here is Ivy. He has struck out, grounded to short, going out to right. Throwing in the dirt. There's a fastball at 95 right there, right on the inside corner.
Allen has 4 wild pitches this year.
Leury just a short lead. There he goes. No throw. Nobody covering. No throw anyway. Now, Ivy.
Arms in the outfield are going to be hard pressed to get Leury Garcia at second base on a base hit.
Big pitch coming up, the 1-1. Now goes to Ivy. Stay with it. Stay on top of it, buddy. Breaking ball high, and the count 3-1 with Gillespie on deck. So now we will see how much he likes his fastball. There it was, but he put it in a pretty good spot on the outside corner.
95 on the black.
That's a heck of a 3-1 pitch right there in this situation. Wow, that's bad luck as a hitter. Because the only thing he's trying to do right there is just throw a strike. That one at 96. We come up with one, and we'll go to the ninth trailing by one.
Fan photo of the game. You can tweet your photo to hashtag White Sox fan photo for a chance to be shown on our broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. And we got a new pitcher. Michael Clado comes in the ball game. Sox trail by a run. Clado on for the 19th time. 18 strikeouts and 20 in the third. That's good. The 16 walks problematic. 4.87 ERA.
Got to hold him right here. Roberto Perez will lead it off. He's the ninth place hitter. And you go back to Bourne and Jose Ramirez. Perez 1 for 3 with a run scored. 3-8-2 for them, 2-6-0 for us. That at 97 up high. Right down the middle. In that big game out at the Big A, that first of that 4-game set against Oakland. Angels leading 3-0, bottom of the third inning. Come on, Michael. That one at 98. No walks. There's a strike. In that game, Gordon Beckham is 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs. Playing third base.
For the Angels, couldn't have come at a better time.
He gone. Right on the outside corner.
This had a part of the plate. Good call by Alan Porter.
So here's Bourne. He is 2 for 4 with a triple, leading off the ball game, and he scored. Now make it 3 for 5, and that's going to be
a triple.
Another triple. So he picks up his 9th 3-bagger.
3 for 5 tonight with a couple of triples, and this one hit the wet grass, skidded all the way to the wall. Fastball right down the middle, even at 98. First ball fastball down the middle usually does not get it done. Now forces the infield in at all 4 positions.
And a tough little customer at the plate. He's 2 for 4 tonight with an RBI, a stolen base, and a run scored.
Hey, a good speed at third. Even though he is one of the best butters in the league, I doubt if he'd be using a suicide or safety squeeze here.
Well, you see where the left side's playing, way in on the grass.
Yeah.
So you've got to try to take that away from him. The speed of the runner at third will determine how far you can play in or back.
And you're talking about a guy that's got 10 sacrifices this year, so you know he can handle the bat.
First of all, you're rolling the dice when you play him in, anytime. And when you got that kind of speed at third base, you got to roll again and even play him in closer. Two and one to count. So this is when a pitcher has got to make sure that he's going to be aware that he's got to become the 5th infielder. That's out of play to even to count at 2. Well, you're a good fielder.
I had to be. I had a lot of shots hit back to me. It was self-preservation. I mean, getting you out is one thing. Continuing your career is something else.
Among other things.
It's true. Well, the key to that is not falling off the mound too drastically to the opposite side.
You've got to make yourself be the 5th infield.
If you can square it off, usually be a pretty decent field.
You just can't take your normal finish. And that is yanked foul. Two balls, 2 strikes. 3-2, Cleveland on top, and this is a rubber match of this 3-game set. They won the opener 8-6. We had a lead after 5 in that ball game, 5-4. Then we won yesterday, 3-2. Hector Noesi picking up his 8th victory against Corey Kluber, one of the best in baseball. And he pops him up, so a good job by Plato.
That was a slider that moved late and a big out.
Slider was actually a good pitch to hit.
Yeah, it was.
But the lateness of it. So here's the best hitter on this ball club.
Do you pitch to him here?
No way would I let Michael Brantley knock in there.
And I feel the same way. And so does Robin. You might get beat, but you got to get beat with Santana.
Well, the
not
move
Brantley.
is only good before.
Yeah, I mean, you make the right move. This is the right move.
This is the right move.
Now it's up to your pitcher to execute.
Exactly. It's only a good or a bad move before the action starts. So now runners at the corners with 2 out. And here is Santana, their cleanup hitter, who's 0 for 2 with 2 walks.
Here comes Don Cooper. First of all, he's going to tell him if he steals, don't throw through. Then he's going to talk about how to get out Santana, who's a dead pull hitter from the left side.
Well, there's 6 ways to defend that, especially in a game like this, with that kind of speed at third base.
Yeah, but with Bourne at third, the way I defend it is get the ball back to the pitcher.
In a hurry. That's one of the ways. But of course, today they want to keep the pitcher out of the play as much as they can.
Well, get it back to him, but not fast enough for him to do anything with it.
The other way, you have a second, if you wanted to try to get it, if they win, he comes a firing to the second baseman who's coming running in. Or you come in firing to the shortstop who's coming in. Or you fire right back to the pitcher. Or you fire right down to third. And or you fake the throw. Those are the 6 ways that you defend that play. So Santana 0 for 3 against Plato.
I'll tell you one more way. I'll tell you one more way when we go to the bottom of the 9th that Jim Essien, former White Sox catcher, used with me on the mound in Oakland.
There he goes. Big rip on a 98, foul back. I'm waiting with bated breath.
Well, I've never seen it before. I don't think I've ever seen it since.
Abreu way back. They're just going to give him the base. Got the shift on. Sanchez way back in right field. And now, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. One at 98, one at 97. It'll be indifference. They can't get him stolen base on that.
No.
Unless they change the rule, which we're beginning to understand. They're just starting to change a few rules on us. That's indifference. That's not a stolen base. Checks it up on that one at 99. He gone. And we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Good job by Clado.
Zach Walters hits a towering fly ball, and Alejandro Diaz goes up, times it perfectly, makes the catch, and saves at least one, possibly two runs. Our Miller moment. So Jim Essien in Oakland comes out with runners at first and third, and he says to me, if that guy from first runs, I don't want you to react. And I didn't really know what he meant. So I said, okay, I won't react. So the guy at first goes, and Essien comes up firing. And it starts to come at me, and all of a sudden just kind of twirls in the air above my head. It was his sponge. And then he had the baseball, and he looked at the guy at third, and the guy didn't move because everybody was looking at his sponge twirling up in the air. So he called him out, and I said, you try to get him on the old sponge trick, huh? He goes, yeah, it didn't work. I said, no kidding.
That's a first one for me. I've never heard of that.
I've never seen it.
Me either.
Before or after?
Never heard of it.
Nope. And that was Jim Essien for you.
But right here's Connor Gillespie for you to lead it off. We trail it 3-2. Connor's faced Cody 3 times, has 1 hit. Big 2-out RBI single by Kipnis, tied it.
Yeah, no doubt about that one. Rob Drake said he went around, and he did. That was a good hard slider down and in.
An RBI by Brantley put him ahead. That was way up and out of the zone. 1 out.
Good 0-2 pitch. Tantalizing enough, and he gets him.
Fowler can't get it.
23rd round draft pick. Cody Allen has overwhelming stuff most of the time.
Well, from what we've seen of him, you got to beat him on his fastball. Not that he can't get 3 breaking balls over. His there is just a deep pitch right there.
Yeah, from Tyler's standpoint, with 1 strike, you can't really do much with that one. 85-mile-an-hour slider on the outside corner.
Nope.
Might as well take it and hope that he hangs one.
Well, if he tries to get 3 breaking balls over in one at bat, chances are one of them is going to be a pretty good pitch to hit. If he gets 3 like he did that, let's grab some bench.
Second strike, you got no chance.
Yeah, let's grab some bench.
Maybe you can catch it off the end of the bat, squib it to the right side.
Two down.
Some more high heat, but it's still in a perfect spot.
Breaking ball. Might as well say to yourself, when you go up there against this guy, if he throws me first ball breaking ball, I'm taking it. I don't care where it is. Come on, Tank.
Another slider. Bounces up right off the mask. Catches him flush. Alan Porter said he okay, and Roberto Perez nods in the affirmative.
And this ball game is over. So they take the rubber match. They win it 3-2. And it was just good to see Johnny Danks really on top of his game tonight.
He had a bounce back performance, and unfortunately the tough luck loser. But the Indians bullpen, which has been so good all year, is good again.
And our GMC professional grade player of the game is Carlos Carrasco. Boy, he has been good. This makes it 5 times in a row. He has really been good, our player of the game. So for my partner Steve Stone, our director Jim Angiu, our producer Todd Benjaminson, our associate producer Dave Ross, our technical manager Mark Harper, for the mayor Mean Joe Goob, also for the executive producer Jim Corno Jr., and for Frank Leon, Jeff Hilbert, Frank D'Amato, and Chilla Dave Chella. This is the Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, Subaru Postgame Live with Chuck and Bill. You've been watching White Sox baseball on Comcast Sports.